Before we start into this one today, just imagine what it's going to feel like to you to have more confidence. How do you improve self-confidence in a relationship? There's a lot of power in metacognition. What do I mean by that? Metacognition is a made-up word. We always do this in psychology because it makes us feel smart to make up words. Cognition means thinking. Metacognition is a higher level. It's thinking about thinking. That gets a little loopy, and be careful with it. It'll drive you nuts. But notice that you can do it. You can think about your own thinking. Why is this important as we talk about relationships and having confidence? Because you show up in a relationship based on your perceptions, based on your thinking, based on your beliefs. It's not necessarily connected to anything in reality, but perception is all that we have. I'm inviting you as we have this conversation today to go to that level, metacognition. You think about your thinking for a few minutes, and you're going to see some things that are absolutely powerful. Now, as we think about our own thinking, notice that your focus is somewhere. Where is my focus? That's a question that we can start with. There's a couple of different options. For example, in a relationship, my focus might be on me, or it might be on you. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm just saying notice where your focus is. If my focus is on me, I might be thinking, do they like me? Am I good enough? Do I have what it takes? Am I prepared for this? Can I do this? See how that's all about me. What that does is creates anxiety, self-consciousness, insecurity. When it's all about me, I'm going to feel differently than if my focus is on you. How are you feeling? Do you feel good here? Are you enjoying this interaction? See, when my focus shifts over to you, what happens to my feelings? I feel less anxiety. My daughter helped me to see this a few years ago when she moved away to do some service work out of state. And for the first time in her life, she was living away from home, out of state, and she was feeling some anxieties. She wrote home once and said, "Dad, I figured it out." And I'm like, "Really? What did you figure out?" Every time my focus is on me, my anxiety goes up. When I forget about myself and I just go serve those people that I came here to serve, I don't feel the anxiety. It was brilliant. And she's right. Because when our focus shifts from this internal, it's all about me, to, you know what, it's not about me, the anxiety starts to go away. Now, what does that do to your confidence? You're going to show up completely differently in that kind of a scenario than you would if you were focused on yourself. Notice it. I'm not even saying you have to change it. I'm not here to tell you how to think. I don't have that kind of authority. I just want you to see that you are thinking and pay attention to how you're thinking. Where's your focus? Here's another powerful tool. While we're at that level of metacognition, let's notice that we can be all caught up in our thoughts about the past, about what's already happened, about what we've done or where we've been or how we've messed up. Or sometimes we can get all caught up in focusing on the future, like what's going to happen. What if, even that question invokes anxiety sometimes. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if I fail? What if I can't do this? Notice the confidence ratcheting down with every one of those. Yeah. Future, worry. Past, depression, guilt, shame, anxiety. Now is good. Let's talk about being present. In the English language, the word present has at least 3 meanings that I'm aware of. It means here, in this place. It means now, in this time. And it means gift. because you can give someone a present. What if we were to be fully present? Here, now. So we're not worried about what's already happened and we're not anxious about what is to come. We're simply here and now. That's a huge gift, by the way, that you can give to people that you love or even people you've just barely met. Be fully present with them. You've probably seen this too. When I go to a restaurant and I look around and I see people sitting at tables with people that they supposedly know or maybe even love, and they're buried in their mobile device. They're scrolling through or looking at things. They're not fully present. See, their mind is somewhere else doing something else. Bring it to the here, bring it to the now. You know what? There's some psychological research that's been done that shows that a lot of our anxieties are based on departing from the present, getting pulled into the future or into the past. Come back to the present, because right here, right now, things are good. This will give you more confidence in your relationships to be fully present. Now I got one more idea for you before we wrap this one up today. I got this one from Brené Brown. If you're familiar with her work, she's just brilliant, and you can go pick up her TED Talk on vulnerability. Brené Brown recently did a Netflix special that my wife and I watched together, and she brought this idea up as something that we can do to become more confident in our relationships. And it's simple. You ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about this? Okay, a story? Really? This isn't a story. This is actually what I'm experiencing. Okay, fine. But we create stories. We do this as human beings. I think we have an innate desire and need to generate meaning so that we can understand what's going on around us, what our world is all about. And in doing so, we create stories about everything that's happening to us or around us in our environment, in our family, our relationships. Those stories then become our perceptions and they drive how we show up. If we're not feeling confident, what story are we telling ourselves? That we're not good enough? Not worthy enough? That people aren't going to like us? What story are we making up about that? When you go to that level of metacognition, it actually puts you into choice. This is something I love about metacognition because it creates a space, and in that space is where choice exists. This is really good news because if the story we picked, the story we're telling ourselves, if that's not serving us well, now we're in choice and we can swap it out for a different story. What if we had a story in our mind that sounded something like, I am so grateful to be in this relationship, and I know that I can contribute some pretty important things to this relationship. It's a story, but you know what? If that story serves me well and has me showing up with more confidence, why not choose that one? Let's be judicious about how we choose our story. Confidence in relationships is only one of the things that we're talking about in the Positivity Powerup. This is a course I've designed just for you to have higher levels of confidence and positivity in your life. Check it out at positivitypowerup.com.